Okay, so let's start it. That is results. Okay, so in there, so that is a service address that we could input URL, the service URL also be published by the Supermap I server or another JS servers. And we can put the tag of this map, or uh, we can set the everybody can use our resource, like anybody can search or can view, or login users can edit, or we can set is the groups that we could share with and the user, and we could just add one users or two users in to see to browser this resource. So that's a way to add map, and that is another way to add map is use the data visualizations. Okay, that is online mapping tool to um, to mapping, and we can upload our file in there and add the surveys or just draw a marker and in the map. So that's another way to add the map, and I will introduce you in next class. That's the data visualizations of the web apps. Okay, and we also could register a service. There we could select the service type like Supermap REST service or ArcGIS REST service or OGC service or another service, and click the service address there and click the service name there, and it can register the service. So in the sign group, we could create a sign and add a sign from the service address. And the data, we could upload the data. And if you have the map or the data, we could register the data. So if you have the data in the iPortal, and we could register the data. And then in the data insight, we could create the web app of the insight, and I will introduce you in next class. Okay, and there also could create the map dashboard and the notebook. Okay, and so we have so many results. If we have so many results, and it's an important thing to search it. So the Supermap iPortal support the fuzzy support. That's a retrieval and filter, and it's based on the geospatial scope and the fuzzy results. So it's also very important to find the data, and iPortal could have the global search of the spatial filtering. For example, let's see it. We could just click this search button to search it. Okay, and let's find in the data, and the in there we could input the keyword to search the results, and we also could input the coordinates of the bonds and to search the scoop, the spatial data scoop. Okay, and whether it is a map or sign, or it's also can be searched. And let's see this PowerPoint. Okay, we also could input the coordinates to search it. For example, that is a map of the China, and that is okay, that is in Chinese. So, this is a map of the China, and we could input the coordinates to search the group of the spatial data. So, and you could only search the within the geographic spatial of this place. Okay, and what is the benefit of the search box? And it's easy to use, it's simple to use, and it has a full text search. And no matter which spatial data is and which field and which spatial information attribute information, it also can be searched. And the third is spatial filtering, and it's accurate search. Okay, the third is resource sharing. Okay, it can also support the multiple types of the sharing groups, just like we have introduced you in the group. Okay, and it includes the public and the spatial field departments and space field users and private. Okay, and the the enter the enter company and the enter organizers can use this resource sharing to share your colleague, or the leader could management the people in the organization. And we can use the portal to share our data resource and view it and browse it and use other people's resource. So let's have a look the menu of the group. Okay, we can if we are the administrator account, and we could create the group. Like we could input the group name, or upload the picture and input the description, and in there that is we could set the tab of this group. Okay, and that is a way to create a group, and it also have the tab of the group, and we could modify it, or there's a tag of the groups. So that is resource sharing. Okay, next let's look at the resource management. Okay, and that is a way to management our resource, and that is the portal administrator manages and all results of the portal. So you could create the group one for department one administrator, and in the department one administrator, you could set create the ordinary user 1 and ordinary user 2, and the first users have the map service data itself, and the user too have its own data, and they can share with each other. And for the department 1 and department 2, they also can share each other with the results. So, and the administrator could management this department and the users. Okay. So next, that is portal customer size. Okay, we have mentioned it in our first class. We could do a zero code variable customer size, and in the applications in the index, so we could share and built-in navigation bar and user login information of the app portal. So let's do a little exercise to do our own index in the app portal. So, and okay, and let's look at it. So if everybody knows the GTC constants of the super map of our company, the super map company, and let's find it. Okay, and in the index of the super map, and there have the banner of the GIS International GIS Software Technology Conference 2020, and it's start as a 14 September. So it's in 14 September, and there is a website of the GTC 2020, and we can use this banner and use this logo to do our own index in the app portal. So if you have done open this page, and you could right click the banner and save this image in our folder, and right click this logo and save this logo, save this image in our folder. Okay, and I have done it yesterday, and you also could find another banner or logo for yours, and you could I'm going to find the image that I have stored. Okay, and that is a banner of the GTC, the GIS Software Technology Conference, and that is the logo of the GTC. Okay, and that is the logo, and you could do it by yourself. Okay, and now let's open the page of the app portal. Open the page of the app portal, and we could see the quickly customize home button. Okay, we could click here. I'm going to click this button, quickly customize home. Okay, and we'll be open the edited page. Okay, could click this setting button. Click the setting button, and there are some options we could change. Okay, first, we click the regular content. Click this regular content and click the upload logo to use that logo we have saved. Okay, click this logo, the GTC. GTC 2020, and we can set the set name, and I could set the GTC 2020. Okay, and we also could click this documentation. It displays the help document link. It could display the help document link, and we also can change this to the GTC offset. Okay, copy it and paste it. Okay, that is the link that we could click in our website, in our index, and we also can click the display language, and there have the information of the copyright, and we also can change it to the full name of the GTC. GIS Technology Conference. Is that right? And let's check. Conference. Okay, and that is the index that we customize, and we can click OK, and the operated is successfully, and we also could click this save button to save the modify of we have edited. And in the layout builder, we can add some control to display what we want to do, and we can add the banner. Okay, we just have the banner, so we delete it, and we also can add a map. That's the where is there? Okay, and we also could add a map that we want to do it, and we can. Okay, we can change the type of the map. Just to use this map, and click this move down button to it in the bottom of our index. Okay, and that is a way to add some control button or add the layout builder, and let's save the okay, and we also could to edit the banner. We could click this button to edit this component, and we can upload an image that's a banner about the banner, and we could click this and edit it, and there have the title of this. We could delete this title and delete this subtitle and modify the button text of there. We could set the click me. Okay. Okay, and there also have the link of this button. we could change it to the index of the GTC. Okay, and save it and click this to look at we have done the index with zero code, right? We don't have to write code to use this, and we could click the management on the menu and click the set configuration and set customer size. They also have the way to change the logo and site name, and we also can change the navigation in the menu. Okay, we can select that we want to remain. We can remain the group or Earth or something else. We can just remain the group, or we also can add the first level item, and we can set the item name. For example, set the dog and set the address. Like we also can copy this address and click OK. And there have the another navigation to add it to our index. And they also have the theme manage. We can change the manage in there by default, and let's try the orange theme. Okay, we could just one click to change the style of our index. Okay, and they also have the resource center, and we can drag it or to modify the center of the result. And we also can modify its name or modify the type of the name. Okay, and we could click the save button to save all changes of we have done. Okay, and let's click this to back to our index. Okay, and the style changed to the lat style. Okay, and so that is the way to modify to customize that index that we can do. So you can do it without code and do it by yourself. You don't have the programmer to customize index, and you just can do it by yourself. So let's look at the step of to customize the home. Okay, we could click this customize home and to change some options in the left menu. And we can add a banner or add a map or icon list title and something else. And it have many customized UI components, and it adjusts the layout of UI components at the home page. Okay, and there also have the customer size portal in depth customer size, and there have the help document, the service menu of the in the iPortal. So there in the developer guide, and there has a customer size the iPortal portal. So where is the document or the service menu is in there. There have the help documentation in the upper of the right of our index. We can click this button, help documentation button. Click this. Oh, sorry, I have modified it. So let's do it by default. We can click this. Oh, I have to modify it, and we can. Okay, in that page, the localhost 8190 and iPortal Web UI Home Edit. We can edit this, and we can click this to restore the default setting and click OK. We can restore it. Okay, and we also can use the default logo and to save it. So our documentation has not uh okay, and let's look at you don't have the help documentation. So if you not modified it, and you can click here to find the documentation, and you can find in the group of the developer guide and find the customize the app portal to look at the how to in-depth customization. Okay, and the and then it's a web app. So that's content that we will introduce you in next class. So let's have a break in 5 minutes. So we will come back at the 9:35 and in my time so let's have break in 5 minutes. Okay. 没见过。
没事，那我就问你，它这个好迷惑。我也保存这个父亲是无解的父亲。没事，我问的是他是谁？
是罗乐，也是
我知道这个名字，但是对不上。
叫他乐乐或者乐乐姐。
好，我知道。
嘿。对，你有用过这个吗？
没有。你会上吗？
是的。Okay, hey everyone, and let's start it. To today's second class. We are getting started to the web app. Okay, and I talk about it in our first class, in the first day, and that is the web apps of the Supermap iPortal. It provides the 4 applications. Before, and you may need to use the desktop platform like Supermap at desktop to mapping, or use some console to write some code to realize some effect. So in the Supermap at Portal, you just to use this web apps to realize that effects you want to do. So now you can move it to a web browser, and from the mapping to the data insight, and you can mine this value of the spatial data in the webs. So where is this these applications are? They're in the menu of the top of the home of the Supermap app portal, such as the data validation, the data insights, map dashboard, and the Earth. And they also have the app center. We could manage these apps. Okay, so first let's introduce the data visualization. That is, let's open it. Okay, so for the documentation, and in the last class, we have mentioned about the documentation. So let's click this quickly, customize home. Click this, and if you have modified the URL in the regular content, if you have modified it, and you just you should to delete that URL and save it, and it will appear that's the default document address. So let's look at the documentation of the iPortal. We could click this button to look at the Supermap app portal 10i help. And in the developer guide, there have the customer size the iPortal portal to do the customize the iPortal. Okay, and so let's go ahead to look at the mapping applications. Let's click the data VIZ. Click this button, click data visualization. Click the data visualization to mapping. Okay, this application provides the base map as well as the different semantic effects we can upload or fail or add the service of the Supermap X server or draw a marker. And let's close this window, and it provides a base map and as well as different semantic effects. So we could add layer, and there have the four ways to add a layer: from file, from search, from web, and from add the marker layer. So let's look at the first, from file, and we can upload our data. You could click it, and it also supports the Excel file, and zip file includes Excel and CSV, and .geojson file and JSON file. So there are GeoJSON files that I have prepared. So if you have interested in it, and I could send this data to you in the end of the class. So let's look at that is housing price of the Beijing. That is a house price of the Beijing. So let's click it to look at that is the name of the area in Beijing. That is the name, and that is the price of the area. And click the add button to add the GeoJSON file. Okay, in the left, we can do some unique semantic maps and range semantic maps to mapping this data. And we could click the average price. Okay, we can see the dark color is with a high price. Okay, and we also can do the migration map, and it supports the real-time migration. We just can add the coordinate from x coordinates and y coordinates by the orientation and the destination coordinates from the x and y to the x and y. So, and that is easily to add the map in our in the website, and it also can be easily added in the web page or some applications. And it supports real-time visualizations, including the real-time migrations, and this don't need to write code. In the yesterday, we had to write code to display the map in the website, and in the Supermap app portal, you don't need to write code, and we can do it directly through the web end, through the web interface, including the semantic map and so on. So, and we also can do some measure and graphical to this map. Okay, and that is data visualization to map the data online. Okay, and next is a data insight. Data insight, it can mining the spatial information through the graphs and maps. Okay, and it can perform a serious analysis and add some charts in our web end. Okay, let's look at the data insight. Open our index, and there have the data insights button, and we can click there. Click the data insight button on the menu, and we can create our first data insight project, and it can import the Excel and CSV or shapefile, and it also can add some graph, create the rich, beautiful, and flexible maps and charts with one click. And it also can interactive analysis tool to help managing the geographical value. Okay. Okay, and for this, okay, okay, and Molino. So, um, that's window, cause I use the version of the 10.1. Yeah, 10i 2020. So your version maybe is 10i 20 10.1 maybe. The 10.01 maybe. So the 10i 2020 is the new version. So if you want to do this, and you could download the new version. Yes, that okay, and that in the 2020, in the September, we have do it. Okay, so create your first data insights project, and let's look at the simple data of the data insight.就是他们可能下来10/2020的。2020就那个在 SP10。不，是那个英文还没发布的那个。你就说那个还没有更新到英文官网上。就是添加数据的时候，那个这个版本要配置那个集群和配置那个服务器，然后咱们新的版本就不用配置了。我昨天快下班的时候才发现这个问题，所以我下载最新版本的，然后就不会出现这个问题。Okay. Okay, so everybody could download the newest versions, the super map Apollo 10i 2020, and you can upload the data in the data visualizations. Okay, and that is the data insight. Okay, and it can add the map with attribute table, and we can in order to this table, and we could do some graphs, charts, or map, or we could do the heat map in the data set and do some analysis like the buffer, like the overlay or another to do it. to do some analysis. Okay, and this is a way to mining the spatial data, and it performs a serious analysis and charts. We can do it from the attribute from a work or map, and this map you can do it in the data visualizations that I have introduced to you. Okay, so that is the data insight. And if you interested, you could do it by yourself. Okay, and let's back. Okay, and next the map dashboard. Okay, the map dashboard, it supports the simple drag the data to your pages, and so it's can easy creation of the 3-dimensional and 2-dimensional map applications. And let's look at the map dashboard in the Super Map portal. So that is a map dashboard. You can click this map dashboard, and you can and we can choose simple data that there have the simple data, like there are the travel monitoring and business revenue. Let's look at this travel monitoring. That is a 3D dashboard, and it appears that the travel in the city, and it can monitoring the people, the number, the amount of the people who is by the subway, by the metro, or who is by the bus, and how many cars are in the road. Okay, and it's a little slow to load this map. Okay, and you can add some chart or in the component menu on the left. You could drag the component to your dashboard. Like you could drag a liquid fill, and you can set its parameters on the right. Set is a data tab or something else. Okay, and that is a little slow. So let's look at another dashboard. Look at the real estate. Okay, and that is a real estate monitoring, and there have a lot of the chart to manage the data, to manage the special data of the estate. Okay, and there, you could do some. You don't do some code, and you could realize this dashboard to display your project. Okay. And the map dashboard, it supports the development of a responsive layout and H5 source code download. And the map dashboard based on the SuperMap iClient VUE component to build and develop. And you can quickly build the 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional applications. You can drag the component to the page and the layout, and it has multiple application templates. So map dashboard, the code can be output and replace it. So it's low code development support. So you can click there to download this map dashboard, and it can download its code. And you could modify this code to extension some another functions in your map dashboard. And you also can publish it, and it can set the permission. Okay, and okay, and there have another functions in there. It's adaptive. It's automatic adaptive. It supports the multiple platforms on desktop and on mobile and on iPad or something else. If you want to see how it is on the phone, and we don't need to actually open my phone during the production process, you can click here to look at what is how it's like in our phone. You just click here to look at to see the preview in our pad in our phone. Okay, and you can modify your dashboard and to preview your data. Okay, and let's look at another example. That is land use map. It is a land use and space planning assignment and warning. It's a land use, space planning assignment and warning. So you can do this application without write a line of code. Just import your data and use the data to upload the picture and put it on the system. You just do the import your data and modify some information and modify your title, and you could do this. You could do this map dashboard. Okay, and that is the replication of the map dashboard, the screen of the map. Okay, next, let's look at the sign browsing. The sign browsing is in the Earth. It's in the menu of the Earth. We can click this to see the 3D sign. Okay, and let's look at the 3D sign, the Earth menu. Okay, click the Earth on the menu. Click the Earth. Okay, and there have the layer list, and we can click this button to add some data. Click this button, add layer button. Click this add layer button, and select the map in the public data service, and it also has the custom service, and you can open the layer with the S3M layer. It is the format of the super map, and you could import your oblique photography in the desktop to it can convert to the S3M layer. And okay, so let's look at the Sophia Castor. Okay, and let's have a look the Sophia Castor in the Russia. Okay, and that is the 3D sign in the super map portal of the menu of the Earth. So that's it. That is a 3D sign of the Sophia Cathedral. And we can do some 3D analysis. To click this button, 3D analysis, and do some simple 3D analysis like sight line or wheels, or analysis it's a shadow or profile to analyze this 3D sign, or we also can measure it or editing it or measure it or look at some tearing, or we also can clip it and setting the sign, and we can setting the fly rate of it and set the light or something else. Okay, and we also can we also can load the 3D sign in a supermap portal. Okay, and that is the application of the 3D sign. That is the application of the 3D sign. So last application. That is a notebook. Okay, the last application is a notebook. So what is the notebook? It supports the online writing of the Python code. Let's look at the notebook. It is the window to write the Python code, and you can add the data and the result to this console. So what is advantage? The data analysts are used to writing code in Python. So if we are a simple data analysis and we don't know how to write code, and it's okay. You use the Supermap portal, and the data analysis use the notebook, and which is a Python code to connect the you and the to connect the Supermap portal and the Python code, and it's quickly combine the two functions, and it can make an extension development. So, so they don't need to do their own. They can combine their results to display in the Supermap portal. So that is a notebook that we can do. And so that is all of our class. So that is a super map portal that we have that we introduce you today. So today's class is finished. And today's class is finished. And if you have any question, feel free to tell us. And you also could subscribe our YouTube. And our class video will send to the Supermap GIS. The account name is Supermap GIS. Okay. And you also can look at our official website to look some training course or there another account of us. Okay, so if anybody have question? 有人问这个。Thank you. Okay. Apollo OS server 的区别。但是那个西班牙语是要你回答还是我用英语回答？我回答。在聊天框吗？哦。Okay, so some people ask us, what is the difference of the Supermap app portal and the Supermap app server? Okay, so let's look at the difference of these two software. So first, Supermap app server is a GIS server that we can publish our data to the web. Right, we could publish the data after we processing the data, and we can use the Supermap client to write some code and and it have some interface that we can do about this service. So it's just a GIS server. It just can publish some varieties of the server. But Supermap app portal, it can manage the many resource. It is a portal of the GIS. Right? It can integrate the GIS resource like map, sign, data. So when we published the service by the Supermap app server, and we could use the Supermap app portal to manage this service. So Supermap app portal can't publish the service. It just manage the service and manage the group to share the service or use this service or browsing this service. So it's published service by the Supermap app portal published.